Okay, so again, we have Solanna from Pawn Sessions Confessions, and we have Nani from Ladies Empire. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so excited because these two guests are my ohana.
Yes, we are. We get
Okay,
plenty on.
so go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell me about yourselves. Tell our followers about you.
Okay, so I'm Solanna, and that song that cousin Cindy was just playing is one of my originals. It became a hit back in 2020 in Hawaii, and now I'm doing pawn sessions as Cindy was saying. And then this is my sister Nani, one of my biggest supporters. Let her introduce herself.
I'm Nani, and so I help my sister with her show, but since we're talking about each of our businesses, I have Ladies Empire, which became a clothing brand under Ladies Empire, which is called Hamal. So silent.
Okay, so today I actually have notes, so I'm a little bit more prepared than the last two times. So we'll go ahead.
You had one?
Well,
Did
I did my introduction live, and then I had one on May 8th with Conchita's. She did the lashes and will be introducing the teeth whitening and body sculpting. So you are my second guest, or second and third.
All right, killing two birds with one stone now.
Okay, so Solanna, how are you? How are you, folks?
We're living in Hawaii. We have the pond behind because that's pretty. You guys see the fish?
Too bad I cannot see the koi.
I know. Somebody have to bring them. We just know like have to touch that, or else it's gonna be a whole other fiasco. I'm telling you. We're just trying to get the sounds right.
Okay, Solanna, before we get into pawn sessions, share with our viewers a little bit of about your story, a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I started singing back in high school. I actually always liked singing, but I never knew it was actually a talent until high school when I moved to Waianae and I met up with some friends who we all had the same common love for music. But one of my things was I like to write music. I like to write my feelings down because that was one of my way of projecting myself without actually being myself, I guess. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I use music and words and lyrics and, to express whatever it was I was going through at the time. Sometimes it was about what somebody else was going on and, we get involved in other people's stuff and then it's like, oh man, if I was in that situation, this is what I would feel. And then, so I would express it through music. And then I got introduced to one of my friend's cousins, and he was starting up his production company, which was Akuboy Productions. And then I kind of signed with them, and then I started my first album. That's where Oompa Loompa came out. That was on my first album. So yeah, that's what I do. I sing and I write music.
Thank you, Solanna. And Nani, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
And before we get into Ladies Empire, could you share with our viewers a little bit about yourself and where you're from?
Well, we're from Kalihi. We're all from Kalihi. This is my cousin, Cindy, and
Ladies Empire.
Yeah. You notice how she got to remind me? Butterfly, I'm sorry, what? It was butterfly.
And that's
she just goes with it. You just come and go with her.
Yeah, that's me. That's Nani.
No, but I'm sorry to cut. We're gonna go more into hers, but Oompa Loompa was written in her car, so she owned this teal CRX back in '96, I believe, and we would cruise around but never have sounds because I don't know. Somebody stole her sounds. So we ended up making Oompa Loompa in the car. We just was bored, and she was like, "Give me a beat," while she was driving. So I gave her a beat, and then she started singing Oompa, and then we just made a song to it.
Yeah. And then she made up all the lyrics and everything and changed everything.
Yeah,
and
she has all kind of ideas. Oh my God, it's gonna be a hit! She was like, "You gotta write a song." So we went home, and I called her up. I was like, I made the song, and then I sang it to her. But that was back when I was in high school. Anyways, she's one of my inspirations for a lot of my ideas. Go ahead with your ideas, Nan.
Because I have a lot of craziness in my life, so Solanna feeds off of my craziness, and, you know, she has a good life, so they got to feed off of my crazy life, and she makes her songs.
We work together.
Is one of my favorite songs from you, and the reason for that is when I first reconnected with you while I was living at Pakimo, and I came down to your mom's house, and only you was home, and I was looking for my auntie that I haven't seen in like forever, and you know, you was home, and then you invited me in, and you was like, "Oh, I'm your cousin," and you we were hanging out in your room, and you was like, "Oh, you want to listen to one of my songs?" And you brought out your composition book, right? And then you brought out your composition book, and you was like, "Oh yeah, me and my sister, we wrote this song," and you started singing that song. So I've always had that memory, and I heard you sing it before it was recorded, and so that was always one of my favorite songs from you.
That's cool. That's cool nice to know, cousin. I forget the memory, but that's great that you remember it. And then that's funny
because she first met you.
Yeah, so. Yeah, but it's funny because we're really, really close family. Like, so our parents are brother and sisters, really. Yeah. So that's how we're family. So that's my first cousin, everybody. And then, anyways, so Empire.
Oh, are we still?
Yes.
I thought you never done with me.
You never talk about you yet.
I did already. No, her question 45. I'm just kidding. No, don't call me. That's basically it. I'm good.
She wants to know how you started. What was that?
No, we didn't get into that. Is that your question?
I just wanted to know a little bit about you. Okay, so we're going back to Solanna. So what is Pawn Sessions, and what inspired you to start it?
So Pawn Sessions, okay, when we lived in Uluvehis, my husband came home from work one day with this crazy idea because him and his coworker had a conversation about pawns, and he wanted to try and make a pawn. So he made my sons get outside, and they made a pawn. And it came out pretty good. It was like what we call ghetto fabulous. You know what I mean? It was ghetto but fabulous because it worked, and his idea came together. Was trial and error, but it turned out good. Then we had fish, and then our friends would come, and we would hang out, and we would joke and laugh. And then I reconnected with my friends from high school, and we would play music. And that's actually what inspired me to start this Pawn Session, but we called it Pawn Session Confessions with Solanna, because basically it's talking about life as a musician or what inspires you as a musician. And then my idea just kind of grew from there. Like at first it was supposed to be me and my friends just talking story about how we love music, how we got together. And then I have other friends who love music too, so who are in the business. But my idea then became, if we can inspire other artists who's wanting to become an artist, we should bring artists that is already known who can give advice. So that way the up-and-coming artists or even known artists already, you know, they might see a different view of a life as a musician and might use that to help them to be successful. So that was my idea of Pawn Sessions, and it just kept growing and growing. Every time I get one different idea.
But I can add to that. So Confessions, the reason why for the Confessions, because when you're at the pawn, right, all her friends would come over, sit at the pawn, and then tell their drama stories, right? Confess all of these things.
And
right?
we leave it at the pawn.
And you leave it at the pawn.
Yes.
It goes, and
I like that idea.
Yes. So Pawn Sessions Confessions, it's soothing. You know, you hear the water and
You see
there's
the
so much
fish.
different things. And then one more thing is, she's actually helping artists to connect to other artists, right?
Yeah.
And to help them to grow and teach them how to make their own music, how to copyright their music. Maybe we have a lot of connections, so maybe we can connect them with certain people and growing right now. And you want to tell about the 501, the nonprofit?
In a little bit. Oh. But yeah, and then also what I do is like not only artists, but so I have friends who make stuff. Like I have a friend that make earrings, or some guy made us a pawn session. His name is Fabian, but he made us a pawn session sign. Like a lot of things are being given through love, because a lot of pawn sessions is basically made from love. So everything you see is all donated. Like all the food, the sounds, everything is donated to help artists. So we're really we don't make anything off of this. What we make is the enjoyment of help, or the satisfaction in helping others to succeed, to see other people succeed. You know what I mean? And that's the point in pawn sessions. So me and Nani wanted to take it a little further and start it as a 501c, which is like a nonprofit organization. That way the people who are putting in the work on a monthly, every month they got to do stuff, you know what I mean? Or I have a friend who has to put together the posters and all of that, or for the promotions and stuff. So that way the work that they get put into it, eventually we want to be able to pay them back. Even the artists who come on board, they're not getting paid. So what I do is I do a virtual tip jar, and it all goes to them. So it's their virtual tip jar. They give me the information, and that all goes towards the artist, especially during the pandemic, because it was hard as an artist to make it. A lot of them lost work. A lot of them were struggling trying to pay their bills because of the pandemic. So that's another reason why we started this pawn session, because we noticed a lot of people was online because nobody could go out at the time. But it's just growing.
It's a great network.
Yeah.
Yes. And then we learn about each other as well, the artists. That's the main thing. You told her that.
Yeah, but really, really, what's the beauty and the blessing in all of it is there's love. Like, really, really, that's what it's all about. It's about love. Our friends love the idea. They support, and they show love. And there's no arguing about it. Everybody just give. You know what I mean? That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and through music, our family is all musicians. So through music, it brings people together. It brings family together, right? So that's all about love. And so hopefully in the future, we're going to get a studio to help these new artists drop their first album and guide them and bring in an engineer. So yeah, we got big plans.
With the 501c, that's it. Eventually the bigger goal is being able to provide a studio where people can learn how to do that work, or people can make, demos to copyright your songs, because that's very important in the music business, or else you get your stuff stolen. I mean, there's a lot of things that you got to learn in the business, but I'm not an expert at the whole thing. That's why I bring other people on board to give and share their information on the Pawn Session Confessions.
Yeah. So if any of you if we have big plans, but we're slowly getting to it. So if any of you have any suggestions or help that can help us with this 501c to grow this business, then let us know.
Yeah. And then with Nani's Ladies Empire. With her Ladies Empire, there's a little behind that too, with the Hamal and the silent.
Yeah.
Yes. So before we go on to Nani, I actually love the whole mission behind what Pawn Sessions Confession is about, because it's a journey and it's a process, and through it all you speak about the love, the aloha for each other and with each other. And for me personally, that's what I mainly want to promote with every session that I do with Lana with Loki is my mission, which is to help each other grow. And that's what you folks are doing, but through music. And so I absolutely love this.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
So, Nani, for what is Ladies Empire and how long has it been around and what inspired you to start it?
So Ladies Empire is like an umbrella. It was started to be like an umbrella, and it was for me to help other women with their businesses, like a consulting. So I do some consulting to help businesses grow if they need ideas or anything like that. So sometimes they'll call me or ask me, and I'm like a Six Sigma. So I don't know if you know what is that, but
No.
The Six Sigma.
yeah, a Six Sigma is professional planners, basically. But anyways, yeah. So that's what Ladies Empire. So under the umbrella of Ladies Empire, I built a brand which is called Hamao, and Hamao it means silence, right? But Hamao comes from Ha, which is the breath, and Mao, like stop, silence. So when somebody tells you Hamao, it means to silence your mind, silence your heart, silence your spirit, silence everything. That means stop, right? So when you use it in different terms like Hamao, that means shut up, kayate, stop right there. You silence everything and it's done. You're done. Don't say no more words. And so if you use it as Hamao, like you can use it for me like a reminder to be humble. Hamao.
Quiet
Just
your
stop.
spirit.
Quiet your spirit. So that's what it actually means, silence.
And Hamao will save you from a lot of drama.
It's just how you express it and how you project it. The kauna behind the word Hamao will mean different things.
Yeah.
Well,
I love it.
means silence. Yeah. But when you
of it is more silence your whole being
silence your whole being
and be one with God.
and then in Hamao, in the name, there's a double-edged sword, and the double-edged sword is in the Bible. If you know it, it's your tongue. So your tongue can heal or it can kill. So it's basically your tongue. Watch what you do. Be careful of what you spit out, because you don't know, you can kill that person's spirit. So that's what the sword is about.
Yeah.
I love that. And you know what? I feel like this is so you, Nani, because as long as I've known you and as long as like we've hung out, this is what I swear every time we get together, you're telling me this. You're telling me something along this lines of, letting things go and watching what you say and how you project yourself. But I love it. This is you. I love it.
Thank you. I had to learn.
Yes, you did.
So great that I'm portraying it as well. Like sometimes I myself, but then it's a reminder to us. When you wear it, it's very powerful. So you gotta be careful. You gotta watch, because it's a reminder to me to Hamao. And so this is the silent design. So in English instead of Hamao.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to Solanna. How many shows have you had so far, and who are some of the musicians that you've had as guests?
So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So tomorrow will be my 8th pawn session, And the first pawn session we had was Mom Them because, for one, Mom used to sing with Kaleo Kalani. Part of pawn sessions is it reflecting part of my life. So a lot of the people that participate in pawn sessions, they have been in my life or at some point of my life or career, they have been in my life. And they obviously inspired me. So I brought them onto pawn sessions. So one is Mom. First and foremost was Mom because she was a musician. Another thing was because I wanted my dad there to bless the show because when I started pawn sessions, we talked to God about it, and I wanted him to make it right. The whole idea. Sometimes when you have good ideas, you got to make sure you stick to those good ideas and not let it become for yourself. Like so with pawn sessions, it was supposed to be to help others. So I pray that God keep me in that light and in that focus, and don't let, because a lot of times you can get, butterflies, squirrels, whatever you call it, and get distracted from other things and forget what your focus was. So I had Dad come and do the blessing. Then I had a friend, Ben Mejia. He and I used to do duets together. And then I had Chad. Last month I had BET, Lopez. I think anybody else? Roddy, Moke, BET. There's Pawn Session Confessions on Facebook. You can go check them out. Get all of them over there. But tomorrow I have my friend, my friends Misty and Kapua. And the reason I'm having them also is because they were a big part of my life. Like I said, in high school when I moved to Waianae, I met a bunch of friends who had we had common love for music. And so I'm going to be featuring them because they're part of my life. And they're part of the reason why I started Pawn Session Confession. So we'll be talking about that during the show too.
And they were the ones that were in Vegas, right?
Misty was, yeah. When I was up there, she came up there. Yeah, so we sang with Reiko. Leiko, sorry. Lady Reiko.
Okay. Going back to Nani. You make shirts and masks. What else can I order from you?
Banners.
Stickers. I like to stick with the stickers. So the brand, so the reason why I opened up this business, right? Stay there. Sorry. The reason why I opened up this is because I bought this business for my son. I wanted my son to become an entrepreneur, right? And so the idea was for him to, how they dress in brand name clothing and all kinds of. So, close the door. I wanted him to go ahead and sell shirts at his school, make his friends some shirts and everything like that. So I bought this business for him to start a business. So I started teaching him the business. I started teaching him behind the scenes of a business, accounting, managing and everything like that, costs, everything. And so he has this knowledge, but he didn't want to end up doing it. So I end up doing it. And so I started the brand. And that's what, did I answer the question? I'm so sorry.
What else can we order?
So you can order shirts, masks, stickers, and I have leggings, but just shirts and masks.
Let's stick to the shirts and the mask. Oh, look, my lashes coming off. We're having technical difficulties. Look, the lashes coming off. Wait, okay. I gotta use the phone. It's crooked.
We can't tell.
I'm still learning, guys. There. Is it straight now? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could feel them fluttering.
Going in the wind, huh?
Okay. One more question for Nani. How can our followers get get their hands on some of your products, and about how long is the turnaround for orders?
Usually like 3 days.
Hawaii shipping.
So I do custom as well. So they can give me their design and I make that on a couple shirts, depending on how much shirts, because it's only me for now, and then my kids when they are available. So it's kind of like a slow moving business, a side business, because I also work I work a job and then I have a part-time job. So yeah.
Okay, so so if they have a design that they're interested in, or say like I have a design I'm interested in, then I can get a hold of you, and then you would be able to print the shirts. But it's a about a week, 2 weeks turnaround.
Probably a week, depending on how much shirts you order.
Okay.
So get that in the mail inter-island within the week.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Back to Solanna. You are someone who had a music career and an album out at a very young age. Then you took a break. Do you have any regrets? And what, if anything, would you have done differently?
I would have read my contract differently if I had to do something different. But what was the question again?
Do you have any regrets?
Do I have any
Do you have
regrets?
any regrets? And what would you, if you could, what would you, if anything, do differently?
I had a lot of opportunities that I didn't accept. But I believe it's all point of view. You know what I mean? So for me, I look at it as if God protected me from things that he didn't want me to, or he knew I wasn't ready to face. We grew up in a very godly household. Mom and dad was into church and stuff, and they taught us a lot about the spirit. And I think maybe at the time, I probably wasn't prepared spiritually to face whatever it was out there to keep me one of God's people, I guess. I don't know how to explain that, but I don't regret it. Sometimes I think about it, like what would have, could have happened, but overall I have a blessing. I got blessed with my kids, my husband, my family, and God still allows me to do things in the music industry for him. So no, I don't regret it.
No regrets.
And what advice or guidance could you give anyone who is watching this and has an itch to explore the music industry?
I would say read your contract, gain knowledge of the music industry by coming to platforms like mine, Palm Session Confessions. Gain knowledge and overall stick with God, because he will never steer you wrong, and he'll always give you the best, because it's all about him. For me, it's all about God and his purpose. We're here for his purpose. So he's going to allow us to use the talents he gave us to serve his purpose. So just stick with God is what I stay humble. Humble.
Okay, on that note, back to Nani. What advice or guidance could you give anyone who is watching this who wants to get into a clothing business or an entrepreneurship?
Well, as far as a clothing business, you have to know your market and just believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself and you want to do it, do it. You know, there's no regrets about anything. Everything is positive. As long as it's positive in your life, you're doing something with your mind, your spirit, or your heart, or even your body. It's all positive. So if you want to start it, if you want to do it, and take that chance. But you got to believe in yourself and, you know, research what the market is, reach out, connect with other people in that business, because in Hawaii we're not so much haters. Like I know FM for my family, FMF brand too, that's Solanna and friends, and he's all about helping.
Yeah.
You know, Hawaii people is all about
Promoting each other.
and encouraging each other to grow, because that's what I'm about. I love seeing local people grow, and anything we can do to help, we just do it. You know what I mean? I've been doing that for years for free. By the way, all you guys owe, not just kidding.
It's a bank account.
It's a bank account. No, but for real kind. If encourage each other and not hate on each other, you know what I mean? Help each other out. Guide each other where to go, how you started. So that's what I'm about if anybody asks me questions. So, yeah, do your research. Believe in yourself. Do it. I mean, you can do anything.
Yeah.
We can do anything. So,
Yeah.
is that
Thank
good?
you. So, Nani, what is the best social media accounts to follow you to stay update on your clothing line or any new merchandise that may be coming out?
It's LasyzEmpire on IG.
Okay.
That's the only. You can reach me at Nani on Nani Duque on Facebook, but to order and everything, it's just the LasyzEmpire IG.
Okay. And then, Solanna, what are your social media accounts or YouTube accounts in which followers can go to watch pawn sessions or see more of Solanna's music?
So I have, it's mainly done on Facebook. So it's Solanna Duque Higa on Facebook. Or I also have a Pawn Session Confessions with Solanna page on Facebook. I do only personal stuff on IG, really, so I don't really promote my IG. But I think it's connected to my Facebook, so you can find me anyways.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's all I really do. I have the YouTube, but it's under Nani's one.
Yeah, we have
use hers
YouTube.
one.
We didn't make Pawn Sessions YouTube yet, but
So we
Okay.
just go live on somebody's page that's around, and then we just go live off of YouTube and share.
Okay. And for both of you, anything else you want to share before we have 2 followers on here? Have any questions?
yeah.
Does any of the followers have questions?
Yeah. Did anybody have questions during the show?
I didn't see any questions. I've seen a lot of people jump on, jump off, jump on, jump off. But so far, no questions, and nobody answered the questions that I posted. The link.
Okay.
Okay.
But anything
doing a,
else you guys want to share?
I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Not it just runs in the blood. We just get nervous.
You're breaking in and out right now.
Cousin?
You're breaking in and out right now.
Oh. Okay. You know?
Yeah.
I was saying that you're doing a great job, and you're a natural at it.
Thank you. Well, it's easier because it's you guys and your family. But thank you, and right back at you guys. You know, I love what you guys are doing. I love what you guys are promoting, and you know, I knew what you guys are doing, but I didn't know the in depth of it. So you know, I'm even a bigger fan now. So thank you, folks, for what you guys are doing.
They're doing promoting new island businesses. That's part of the show too. We like to promote other, like she was saying, promote each other. All we can do is uplift each other. We got to continue to do that because in uplifting is God's love, and that's our main purpose, right?
That is it.
Our grandma taught our parents that, and I think they instilled it in us, in all of us.
Okay,
Yeah,
and just want to remind everybody that we have Pawn Sessions Confessions with Solanna tomorrow on Facebook. You can find them on Pawn Sessions Confessions or Solanna Duquesne Higa's page on Facebook. It'll be live at 6.
Yeah.
So tune in, everybody.
Because
Thank
we're
you, cousin.
promoting.
Thank you. God bless you guys. Love you guys.
Are we not going to talk about your